Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast to the protection against heavy rain and flooding by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
So the big challenge is, how can house owners like you and me get a flood-free home? How can business managers like you and me get a flood-free company? And how can public servants provide flood-free critical infrastructure and livable cities?
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe. This podcast is for foresighted and proactive people who do not want to shovel the muddy water out of their room while standing in the midst of the disaster.
Therefore, those who design and plan, the architects and engineers, need to construct such buildings and cities, and that even when the entire environment is completely flooded. That is a challenge, and this podcast will give the answers.
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
Hello again and welcome. That is another episode, and today we are not digging deep into the flood protection secrets. We talk about this or that. My team has prepared 5 more questions, and I don't know the questions. That's always what I mention. So first of all, thank you very much, team. That is always amazing how you come up with these questions, and it's a little bit exciting for me as well, and I hope you like it and you find it entertaining. So come on and give me question number 1. Question number 1, coffee or tea? I start my day every morning with tea, and that is no, that's not a black tea. Black tea, that is curious. That is interesting. Black tea I only drink when I'm in a hotel. Then I drink the black tea. But when I'm at home, it's kind of peppermint tea or fruit tea, things like that. No green tea in the morning. That is not good for my stomach. So that's why it is tea first. Very aromatic, and to be honest, I drink 2 liters of tea every day. Yeah, so it's quite a lot. Almost 2 liters. I think, what is it? 0.7 is... No, it's 2 liters. It's 2 liters. Okay. And tea in the morning, and then around 10 o'clock or something like that, then comes my first, I call it my second breakfast. That is a cup of tea. Yeah, and then in the afternoon after lunch, or later in the afternoon, then comes several cups of tea, and that's it. And sometimes in the evening as well, I drink tea. As well, and then no green tea, because then I cannot sleep in the evening. So only from time to time in the afternoon, jasmine tea, for instance, is a very, very favorite one. So coffee or tea, that is balanced. Does it? I must ask my admin. Does it count? Is that okay, balance, or do I have to take a decision? No, it is written I must take a decision. So then, of course, I go for coffee. Okay. Question number 2, please. City life or countryside? City life or countryside? Are you energized enough? Am I energized? How about the urban environment? I grew up in Berlin, so at the western part, that was a time we still have seen the Berlin Wall. So the world was divided into these western countries and the Eastern communistic countries. So luckily I grew up in the western part, in the American sector in Berlin. So we could do everything what we wanted to do. That was like in province. However, we had the advantages of a big city. Later on, after the unification, Berlin became the capital again. Before it was Bonn in Germany. It's a very small city. So I enjoyed the city life, and of course also the countryside. But of course, we had farmlands, a lot of green. So I was always playing outdoor when I was young. Today it's quite difficult to tell children to play outside. Huh? they don't want to go outside, they don't want to leave the computer. But in my times it was different, and I like very much to play football or soccer, how we call it, almost every day, and do 1,000 things. So I was a city life guy, and I have become a countryside guy. So at the moment, I prefer the countryside. Next question, please. Cooking at home or dining? Cooking at home or dining? I would say if when I say I know how to cook, then many people will start laughing. I'm quite sure about that, but I'm able to cook, so I can make some potatoes, rice, noodles, vegetables, meat, scrambled eggs, of course, yes, or a little bit more complicated things, especially when I have a cooking book. Then I'm able to do that, but I need to have the time, and that's exactly the problem. That is why when I'm traveling, I always eat. I dine outside. That was the time during the pandemic when I stayed a long time in our condominium together with my son in our condominium in Makati, and then we ordered food all the time by Grab. That was Grab is like Uber, so they do not only provide taxis, they also deliver the food, and that was quite interesting. So, however, I prefer eating at home. And the reason is simple. Very often I'm disappointed when I eat in the restaurants, and the quality is not that good. The wine is not tasty, and we can do that better at home. And you also avoid arguing with the service staff, because what I observe is that the service staff is less and less educated, and there's always something what is missing, especially in Asia. In some Asian countries, there's always something missing: the fork, the knife, the glass. Then the main dish comes before the supper or the appetizer. The drink is missing. Always something, and this arguing I don't like. When I go to a restaurant, I want to have peace of mind and want to have it quiet. So my answer is easy: cooking at home. Next question, please. Classical music or rock music? I grew up. No, it's wrong. I did not grow up with classical music. I started learning. I learned the guitar with classical music. I had to play all these classical things, and that was really annoying, tiring, to be honest. And I would have preferred that my teacher would have started with some things from the Beatles, just play chords and sing with it. But I started to play classical songs on the guitar, and but I always liked rock music. So it's very, very easy. I grew up with Deep Purple, so that was my favorite rock band, or one of the favorite rock bands. Of course, Queen. That was a later generation. Some years later, and all these good bands, so Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd I also liked, but it was not my favorite. The same like Genesis or Supertramp at this time, or Jethro Tull. No, I'm a rocker. I like Van Halen or ZZ Top, this kind of music, and they did not ask me for blues music, but it's a part of rock. Let's do it this way. Rock music is my answer. Is that okay? All right. Do we have one more? One more? Yeah, one more question. Comedy shows or horror movies? Horror movies. Yeah. Both is good, huh? It depends. There was a time when I was younger. Then we met with friends, and we watched horror movies at home. So we made home cinema, but long ago. And comedy shows, it's interesting, but after a while, it's recurring, it's repeating, and then sometimes the comedians are not really good, and the quality sometimes is not really as it should be. However, a good comedy show is something what does very. It's doing something well. It's doing good for you, because the body feels good, you can laugh, you can use all your muscles. That's true, but a good horror movie, it's not bad, but it must be well done, and not only that it is the disaster in the slaughterhouse, and then you know already what's going on. And I don't know whether Alien is a horror movie. It's not really a horror movie. In a way it is, but it's more adventure. Let's go for horror movies. And I have one friend in the Middle East, an Arab friend, who told me recently he also likes horror movies. Great. This episode is for you, my friend. All right. Do we have anything more? Nothing? Okay. I just get the signal, nothing. My IT admin is telling no more. That's it for today. I hope you liked it as I like it, and it was entertaining for you, and perhaps it reminds you a little bit your own experience when you were younger and you were at high school or at university, whatever you have done in your life. So I hope you stay tuned, and next time we talk again about flood protection secrets. I wish and hope for you that you make the right decisions when it comes to your personal flood protection. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast channel if you haven't already. Now it only remains for me to wish you a good day, do something with it. Maybe until the next podcast episode, I would be very happy. See you then. As always, stay safe and flood free. Your Andreas Klippe and the whole Flood Experts team.
That's it again with a new episode of Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe, German engineer, book author, and head of the Flood Experts. What can Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe protect for you? Anytime? Worldwide? Contact us or just click through to www.thefloodexperts.de/bonus. Detailed engineering, German quality, safe. Flood protection secrets. The secrets you'll want to unfold.
Don't forget, you're only one flood barrier away.
Subscribe to the season, and you'll never be late for an episode.